Peace and power and prosperity to everyone here, okay? I want to share something that's been heavy on my spirit and my heart, and it's the idea of spiritual debt. Now, it's the type of weight we carry that has nothing to do with money, but everything to do with alignment. I'm working toward being financially debt-free, but the deeper goal is liberation in all forms. Because here's the truth. Some of the most crippling debts aren't tied to a credit score. They're tied to your soul. I recently released a body of work that reflects this personal journey of mine. It's called Mr. 13th Sign, The Zodiactivist, now streaming on all major platforms. This project isn't just about music, it's an offering, a blueprint, and a bridge between ancient wisdom and modern understanding. Every generation finds new ways to seek God. We're all going in the same direction. We should be all trying to find God. Alright? Seek and ye shall find. Some turn to religion, others turn to nature, and some, like myself, we follow the stars. Alright, just like people rely on the Bible, which was written by man through divine inspiration, but also used to enslave people back in the day. Alright, I believe we should also honor our birth chart, a sacred divine map which was written directly by God, specifically for you. Alright, it reveals where the sun, moon, and planets were when you arrived on Earth. Why wouldn't we study that? We spend our lives studying sacred scriptures, but rarely study our sacred selves. I was raised in the Church of Christ, baptized at the age of 11. And the journey I went on from the age of 12 until when I finally started to open my eyes has been both fascinating, but it's been rewarding as well. It has been rewarding, even though I've gone through some hills and valleys. But what's the best that can happen? All right. And while I'm grateful for what it gave me, it eventually became clear that I needed more. I had questions that couldn't be answered with just because the Bible says so. Even Jesus, he came in and he was like, what are y'all talking about? He had questions about how the scribes, how the Pharisees and the Sadducees, y'all, what are y'all doing? Y'all not following according to what I'm talking about. Y'all talking about the Antichrist. Y'all acting Antichrist. Alright? And if the wise man followed the stars to find baby Jesus, maybe you should follow the stars to find baby you. Alright? Maybe that's what the issue is. You gotta get back to your root chakra and figure out what was going on in those fundamental years so you can show up as a more authentic version of yourself and be the light bearer that you were sent here to be. If you are a angel of light, alright? In this world of darkness. Now for me, that journey did lead to astrology. Certain things I got familiarized with when I was younger, but not going too deep into them. So that did, I looked at tropical, I looked at sidereal, and eventually I started to look at the 13 sign system. And that's when I discovered Ophiuchus, that forgotten sign, the 13th. Why they always tell us 13 was bad, it was an unlucky number, but 1 plus 3 also equals 4. And 4 is pretty sturdy. Alright, so I was born on December 8th. I always felt like I didn't quite fit the Sagittarius mold. It didn't seem right. It just seemed, okay, I see parts of it, but it was a lot of parts I didn't see. And once I learned about my Taurus rising, the fact that my tropical sun was Sagittarius, but it actually moved to a moon placement in Sagittarius once I looked outside of tropical, that type of stuff started to make more sense as far as it being in the 8th house and the structure that I went through with my mom. All right. So the truth is I was using other people's guide maps, ignoring the one God made specifically for me. All right. That's how spiritual debt accumulates, by living in disconnection, ignoring our purpose and denying our divine coding. Now let's be clear. Debt is not just financial. We're talking emotional debt, that suppress trauma and unhealed relationships. And a lot of people are doing the work. It's beautiful to see a lot of people doing this healing work and getting in tune with themselves. So let's just go a little bit deeper, everybody. All right. Mental debt from toxic thought patterns and inherited beliefs. Physical debt from how we treat our bodies, what we feed ourselves. Sexual debt from misaligned connections and energy exchanges. I get free love, but just certain parts of yourself you have to hold at a higher standard and put a little bit more emphasis on how you utilize it. All right. Spiritual debt from ignoring our divine purpose. Financial debt from systems we didn't create but often become trapped in. And even more, you got generational, karmic, ancestral debt. In Romans 13:8 it says, owe no one anything except to love each other. So love is the divine currency. All right. Love the Lord your God with all your heart. Right? And love your neighbor as yourself. Two fundamental principles. But that's the divine currency, love. Okay? 1 Corinthians 13 was all about love, right? So we need to start paying more attention to the number 13. All right? They hide things in plain sight. All right? When we live outside of love, when we numb, neglect, or harm, we accumulate debt. But we can pay it off. We can reset. So one method I started using to reset is fasting when the moon enters my sun sign. Now, what do you mean when the moon enters your sun sign? Now, I look at that as a sacred connection, right? You want to think about two entities getting together, man. When the moon and the sun is masculine, the moon is feminine, and the two of them come together, man, that is the creation. That is the creation of all creations, man. So that just so happens when that happens when in your sun sign, when you become familiarized with not just your tropical sun sign, but your sun sign from each, and but some people, theirs doesn't change at all, man. So shout out to those people who were born right in the heart of a sun sign, man. So it doesn't fluctuate between tropical, Vedic, sidereal, 13 sign. They are who they are. So when you see them, they are the most authentic version of themselves that you are witnessing. Okay? So, when the moon enters your sun sign, then it's just a time for you to reset. It's a time for you to remember that first breath. All right? So you want to remove fleshly desires, okay? Flesh-driven habits that we accumulate as we spend our time in this world. Be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the word and the renewing of your mind. It's a word for you right now, man. Okay? Since I embody the energy of Scorpio, Ophiuchus, and Sagittarius, in the Western it was Sagittarius sun, and the Eastern it was Scorpio sun, and I'm not gonna let y'all remove Ophiuchus, so I'm gonna tap into that too. So we're gonna look at that 13th right in between Scorpio and Sagittarius. So it's almost like, hey, over on the West we here, over on the East we here, and they like trying to put baby in the corner. Y'all not gonna put baby in the corner, okay? It's big Mr. 13 sign, the zodiac is here, okay? I'm here to do my part. All right, so for me, I end up fasting 5 to 6 days each month, just minuscule, okay? All right, so that's the 2.5 to 3 days in between those two signs, and since Ophiuchus is in the middle, just go ahead and get that sandwich. All right, this consistent sacrifice elevates my vibration and it keeps me covered. All right, this is how I protect myself. This is my armor of God, part of my armor of God that I put on. All right, you can definitely go check out the music, and we talk about the armor of God on there as well. So Matthew 6:12 reminds us, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. All right, forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. So me, I've made mistakes. I've hurt others. We all have. You've made mistakes. You've hurt others. All right? But was it because you were following the wrong map? Were you going in the wrong direction because you were following the wrong map? It's possible. But me, now I choose alignment. I choose awareness. So I ask you, are you ready to be debt-free? Are you ready to reclaim your purpose? Are you ready to stop outsourcing your truth and study your sacred self? If you are, You can come dive deeper with us. All right, you can subscribe to our community, www.mondaybornmentality.com. Join the mailing list to receive updates. We got teachings, fasting guidance, and more. Because our goal is to eliminate debt. All right, and not just from the financial perspective, but all debt, right? All debt. Becoming debt free is the key in every sense of the word. You can also check me out on all platforms. The new album is out. It's just something a vibe. You know, I'm not here trying to be a rapper. I'm just here trying to use the gift that I was given to vibe out with y'all. All right, so you can check us out. Mr. 13th Sign, the Zodiactivist, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Tidal, Amazon Music. We here, man. We here. We showing up to do our part. It's a Monday Born mentality. I love it. I love y'all. All right.